you want to make a report?
Yes, okay.
Okay, first give us the description of what you saw.
Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, this has been reported to me. This is the Egremont Police Department?
Yes.
Okay, in Egremont, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Okay. Briefly, what she saw was she was awakened by a bright light. Okay, and a loud noise outside her house at approximately 8 a.m.
This morning?
Sunday morning.
Sunday, okay.
Right, she was embarrassed to report it.
Okay.
Okay, and she experienced, she thought what was a dream. I don't know. She explained the phenomenon as she woke up with a pain in her side. Okay, and then she noticed she had been, I don't know if she had like a cut or something on her chest area.
Okay.
Okay, and she got up and she put on her shoes, and her shoes were wet. She didn't remember leaving the house for the night. For some reason, she walked up into the area where she seen the light, and she's seen a triangular, I don't know what you'd call it. I just went up and looked at it with another police officer. I describe it as a area in the grass with 3 triangular spots on the grass.
Kind of impressions.
Right. It would be an impression, but it's not a deep impression.
Right.
The grass is soft, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It would be the grass is down in those 3 spots, and the grass is discolored to a white color.
Okay.
Okay. We measured the spots. They're all approximately 16 inches in diameter. The 3 of them.
Yes.
And from center to center measured, it is exactly 10 feet 4 inches.
Okay.
I did take some of the grass as a sample. I probably shouldn't have touched it with my hands, but I did. If they burn out, I'm going to sue you. I'll be screaming, nanu, nanu. But she reports that last night, the next night, I guess it was, the night after this would have been Monday night, she did see in the sky a flat-shaped object, okay, with all different colorations of lights on them.
Okay.
Okay, she was embarrassed to report them, but I finally convinced her. We took pictures of the indentations in the grass, the discolorations in the grass, and also did the measuring, of course, and I'll file a report here.
Could I get your name?
Sure, it's Chief.
And your number there?
Okay, and it's the Egremont Police Department. That's E-G-R-E-M-O-N-T, Egremont, Massachusetts.
Okay.
I know you had a report nearby here. I don't know if you took the report or who it was reported to, Columbia County, New York, the other night.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody, it was on the radio that somebody reported a sighting.
Okay. Okay, we appreciate your reporting that, and
I wonder, though, to have somebody look at that, who would I get in touch with?
well, we'll notify an agency, and if they've got people in that area, they'll be there right away.
Tonight or tomorrow? Or?
Probably tomorrow, yes.
Right. Okay.
But they'll call ahead of time, make some kind of appointment.
Okay, listen, have them, I would prefer they got in touch with me first. She's quite embarrassed over it and everything, and I can probably sue things for her, because she's got a kennel there with a lot of German Shepherds, and she's afraid everybody's going to be running wild up there.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay, just to be on the safe side, okay?
Okay, thanks again.
Thanks for your help.
Bye-bye. UFO Reporting Center?
Yes. I live in New Jersey, Toms River, New Jersey.
Yes.
And on Thursday night between 8 and 8:30, I reported to the Toms River Police Department that I had seen something in the sky that was extremely unusual. It was extremely big. It had fire engine red lights, Kelly green lights, orange lights. It would shut all them lights down and turn it bright white. It had no destination at all. It was zigzagging in and out. It was shooting from one side of the sky to the other side. It was almost as if it was rolling. Then it came back into like almost by the highway, and it was coming down low. And as I got a good look at it, it was triangular shape, and I rolled the window down, and there was no sound to the thing at all. The lights were extremely, extremely big lights.
Okay. Was this a large object or small?
A very large object.
Okay.
Unbelievably large.
Okay. Could you estimate its size by comparing it with something you know of?
This would make you laugh, but it was as big as a 7-Eleven store. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all. It was as big as a little convenience store, and the shape on the bottom of it was triangular, but it almost looks as if it domed out.
Kind of a dome on top, then.
Like a dome, like the bottom base was triangular.
Okay.
But when I had to get it underneath it to find out what type of shape it was, and when I looked underneath, it was triangular, but I could not make it out because the lights were so bright. They were almost blinding my eyes.
Did you ever have to turn away from it, though, from the brightness?
Yes, the lights were extremely bright.
And still no noise at that point?
No noise at all. None.
Okay. Do you have any estimate of how close it came to you?
I'd say between the height of 2 or 3 telephone poles.
Okay.
And it was over water a lot. It was over it was over the ocean, over the bay, then into land, and then it shot right out of sight. It shut all its lights off and turned one light of red beating in and out extremely fast, as if it didn't want to be seen.
Okay.
And I reported it to the police department, and they don't want to be bothered about it. You know what I mean? They don't want to be bothered. The Air Force, everything. They just don't want to hear about it. But I want to talk to someone about it because it was not a plane or a helicopter. They try to give you stories of what it is, but it definitely was an unidentified flying object. And it had no destination, flying erratically.
Just erratically around the sky?
Yeah, erratic pattern, zigzagging in and out.
Okay. Did it quite frequently turn that bright white color?
Bright white, and then it would shut the white lights down. It would turn like a green, orange, and red, almost as though it looked like an air show. It was unbelievable.
Okay. What time did that occur?
Between 8 and 8:30 on Thursday night, the 27th of October. It was a full moon, no clouds in the sky whatsoever, none.
Okay.
And I watched it for I'd say about 15 minutes.
And then what happened to it?
And then it just went on an angle and just disappeared.
Now, did this pass overhead?
Overhead, it hovering. It hovered overhead of me.
You mean that it stopped?
It totally stopped dead.
Directly overhead?
Overhead, just like dead stop in the air.
Okay, now at that point, do you feel that you were looking at a solid object?
When I look,
metallic or solid object?
Yes, it was solid. When I looked at it, it was solid object.
Okay.
And it was a rectangular object. A triangular object.
Yes.
It was like as if it domed out.
Okay.
That's when I noticed how big it was. And that's when I rolled down the windows to hear for sound. No sound at all. It almost looked as if it was landing, and it stopped. To me, it looked like it got scared and just shot away.
And was anyone with you at the time?
Yes.
Okay. Tom's River. That's right on the water, isn't it?
Yes.
On the ocean?
Right on it came from the ocean.
Okay.
I'm so excited that I've seen something that is unusual, and I know it's not a plane.
When did you see this?
I seen this Thursday night, October 27th, between 8 and 8:30.
Okay. Did you ever draw a sketch of the object?
Matter of fact, my brother just asked me to draw the sketch of the object, and I did.
Okay.
But the sketch, I'm not a very good drawer, so he understood what I was trying to say when I meant triangular on the bottom, and it domed out like on the sides and stuff.
Okay. Okay, we sure appreciate you reporting that. You'll be hearing from somebody. They'll call ahead of time.
Does it sound anything familiar that anybody else reported?
Yes, very familiar.
Very familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye. UFO Reporting Center?
Yes. Hi, I've got your number from March Air Force Base.
Yes.
Oh, I live in Anza, California.
Yes.
And, I've never had any of these things, experiences, or seen anything like this, and that's why I'm really concerned about this. There's a couple last week, twice in one week. My daughter, in fact, that's 6 years old, seen this weird thing. But I was talking to March Air Force Base, but I'm really kind of concerned, is it their helicopters or isn't it? Because I was telling my husband about the things I was seeing, and he said, oh, it's just something March Air Force is doing, and I called and they said they weren't. And today the newspaper came out, our newspaper of our town came out with UFO sighted in Anza. So I'm not the only person, but I've never said anything to anyone because I don't want no one to think I'm crazy. You know? And this is really weird because it's like 2 days apart of seeing these things, and it's really weird. It's hovering right to the back of my property, this weird thing up in the sky.
Okay, what did it look like?
Well, what I seen was my daughter spotted it out to me as we were driving up a road in the sky with a very bright light, unusual color. It looked like a golden, they called it the golden star, orangish gold color. And then I was just stunned by it, and I was just staring at it, stopped in my vehicle, and it started to move. Like, it was real weird. It was like, you know, it was like moving real slow. I mean, very, very slow. And it had lights down each side of it, like a triangle.
Yes.
And then next thing I know, I didn't take my eyes off the damn thing. It was gone. It was just gone, and I got scared. I just hauled. I was real close to my house. I just gasped it. I got in my house, and I was just really scared. And my husband was watching a baseball game. I didn't want to call him where he was at because I didn't want to feel like an ass. But this is a really weird thing. It's because my daughter, 2 days later, I was on the telephone. I wouldn't answer her. Hello?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes.
Anyways, and she was looking out the window, and I didn't pay any attention to her. Can you hold on a minute? It's another line. Otherwise, it'll bug me.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, and I didn't pay any attention to her, and she said, there it goes. And I said, what is it, Monique? Because I just hung up the phone. I was walking into my living room. She said, I don't know. It was weird looking. It was funny, Mommy. And I didn't pay any more attention to it. And I thought, God, this is too much. I got kind of spooked. And then I said, Vic, you know, I'm getting really serious to talk to you about something. Don't think I'm nuts. And so I was talking to him about it. He sat my daughter down. She's 6 years old. She's not an imaginator. She's a bright child. And he sat her down and had her draw him a picture. And the picture he drew her is just devastated us and scared her. It was like, God, maybe that, whatever that was we seen the first time, was something 2 days later came back in the same area. And it was round, what she drew, with a square opening to the bottom of it. And she said, these things, I watched them come out, Mommy, and they were long and they were round at the bottom. And it had, she drawed balls all around the thing as lights. She said they were golden lights.
You mean that something was launched from this object?
Yeah, something came out of it. She's not a liar. She's not a man. She's a very good daughter. I mean, I'm not conceited about my daughter, but I'm just trying to tell you the type of child she is. And it shocks me. I'm really shocked because here my husband says, you're not crazy because look at the newspaper. He knew I'd be shocked. And it says UFO sighted in Anza. And it says all the dates and the times. And it's exact times, exact dates of what I've been seeing. And I talked to March Air Force Base, and they said, well, President Reagan and Bush was down in this area. And there was special aircraft. There were helicopters that were patrolling the air all last week. And he said, maybe it could be nothing more than that. And I said, I don't know, but my daughter drew me a picture, and I'm just stunned. She don't know the last thing about UFOs, Martians, weird ships. She can identify an airplane, identify a helicopter. We have them all around us. Okay. We got, March Air Force Base that flies our big planes right through our valley.
Okay, when did she see this one that launched an object?
She's seen it, what is today?
28th.
Friday. It was last Monday.
24th. Okay.
It was last Monday, and it...
Like about what time?
It was evening. It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
In the evening.
Now, did she say how many objects were launched from it?
2. She said there was 2. She said one was coming out, one was out, and she said one was coming out. She only drew 2. And she called them the color of, they were She said, Mommy, I couldn't see the color, but the bottom thing was golden. And it's round, what she's drawing. It's a long thing, and it's round, and it's lit up, apparently.
You mean it's like a tube?
It's a tube.
Okay.
And it's a round object at the end of this tube, she's telling me. Telling me and my husband, and we kept the thing. I said, Rick, I'm going to go down to my Air Force base and tell him, look, you know.
Was this close to her, or just?
She said, which was closest. See, we have a 3.5-acre parcel.
Yes.
And our house is in the front of the parcel, and it was across in the parcel next to us, which is close. And she pointed up in the air, and she said, Daddy said, how far? She said, 5 feet, but she doesn't know footage. She's guessing. But she pointed directly to the same place as where we've seen it the last time, and that's what really bothers me. It really scares me.
Was there any estimate of distance between her?
No, she couldn't identify really. She said it was just right there, Daddy, just right there sitting. And it's just really weird because, you know, I moved in this house 2 years ago, and she was 4 at the time, and she was looking out our front window, and I paid no mind to her again, which I swear I never do again. And she kept yelling for me from the kitchen, Mommy, Mommy, come here, look at this thing in the air. And I wouldn't pay no mind to her, and it was evening. It was the same time, you know. We go to bed by 9:30, 10, and it was somewhere in that time, you know, before that bedtime. And I swear, I wonder if then if she's seen something weird. I've seen it myself, a weird object, and it just vanished. I mean, it literally vanished in front of my eyes. And what was so scary is I got in my house, and I locked my doors. I was really scared. And I turned around. I have this big picture window in my dining room, and I looked out, and the same damn big light we'd first seen was directly across from me. It, like, disappeared from the back of my property to the front of my property. And I said, where did that go? And my kids were looking out. We were driving our van, looking out all the windows, and we couldn't find the thing. And I didn't know what it was. It just kind of spooked me. And I'm just kind of concerned about what this is all about.
Okay.
And there's people in this paper. I'm reading what the people have seen, and it's all the same time. And the paper is saying they're identifying the same thing.
That's today's paper?
This is today's paper, Friday, October 28, 1988, and it comes out a week later. It's a very small town we live in.
That's a weekly, then?
Yes, it's a weekly paper. Could you tell me one thing? Are these things really real? Does this exist in our world?
Oh, yes.
It's really true, then?
Very definitely.
God, it just really shocks me, and I'm kind of scared because I'm home late, and it's just, we've seen so much, and apparently I'm not the only one, so I know I'm not nuts now. My daughter, whatever she is seeing, she is describing something very bizarre looking. She, you know, all kids have an imagination, but she is very, when she tells you something, she tells you straight to the point. She doesn't sit there. A lot of kids, I have a 4-year-old that is just totally an exaggerator. You couldn't believe her for nothing. She even has a story pattern, you know. But this is really weird. She came to me with this, you know, and she always has.
Well, has she any interested in space travel or anything like that?
Nothing. She don't even know anything about it.
Okay.
She doesn't. In fact, last night they watched E.T. for the first time. She really doesn't know anything, which really shocks me, makes me to believe she's seen something out there.
Okay. And where did you get our number?
I got your number from March Air Force Base.
Okay.
Because I talked to a lady and was telling her, she said, you know, I really advise you to call this number, but I will have you talk to my watch commander. And he's the one that told me that President Reagan and Bush was in the area, so the air was being patrolled. And they do have certain equipment, helicopters with lights.
Right.
But he didn't satisfy me. You know, especially with my daughter drawing this picture, it's very unusual. And for her just to draw something, and you know, she identified everything.
Okay, well, we sure appreciate you reporting that, and if we get any more information on this, we'll let you know.
Yeah, if you do, in case there is something around here, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know anything about this, and I really just always wrote it off as, listen, I mean, I couldn't believe it could be true. But as you say, it's really a true fact.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
UFO Reporting Center?
Hi, this is the Mercer County Sheriff's Department in Stanton, North Dakota.
Yes.
We have, I don't know if you could call it a UFO, or I don't know if it's just some kind of weird electrical happening or what. It's going on right now north of Beulah, which is up by a gasification plant up here, and I don't even know if you guys are interested.
What's happening there?
The reporting party called in here and said that she could see what appeared to be a real bright light hovering over a farm. And as it would get real, real bright, all the lights on the farmyard would go out. And this happened once, and she said it stays pretty much in the general area, but it goes east and west a little bit. And the second time the light got real bright and all the lights went out on the farm, she called the people that live in the farm. And when the lady that lives there came out to answer the phone, the microwave was going crazy. And the lights in the house were real, real dim, and the lights out in the yard were out completely. Now this, I got the call at 12:19. We're on Mountain Time, so about half an hour ago. And I've got 2 officers out there now, and I had talked to the lady that lives at the farm, and she says the microwave is still going crazy. The farm, the outside lights are flickering off and on. And the basement lights in the house and up the stairs are real dim, but then there's one light in the house that's real bright. And it's really affected the microwave. That's the one thing that is really goofy.
And the object is still in sight?
Well, the deputies are now over to the house that reported this, and I haven't heard now if they can still see this bright light or not.
Okay.
And when she called me, she could still see it. It wasn't as bright at that time, but she could still see it.
Okay.
The lady that lives in the house couldn't see this bright light. I don't know.
Okay.
She saw a star that seemed to be a lot brighter than the others, but she didn't know if that's what she had seen.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, that's all I do, or you tell us if you ever saw anything?
Sure, we'll get back to you if we get any information on it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
UFO Reporting Center?
Oh, just who I wanted to talk to. We're in Grass Valley, California.
Yes.
And I contacted Beale Air Force Base here to get a number that we could report a UFO sighting here in Grass Valley.
Yes. Did we get a description of what you saw?
Well, I'll let you talk to my husband. I only seen 2 of them. He's seen quite a few more, and it was about 10 to 5 or 5 to 5 this morning.
Okay.
So let me put him on the phone. Hold on.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, listen, I have never been a believer of UFOs in my entire life, and I just seen at minimum of 9 this morning with my own eyes, and I'm a believer.
Okay, what did they
look
like?
Huh?
What did they look like?
Okay, it was about 5 to 5. I went out to check my water pump. I turned around in the sky, and approaching me, first of all, was, if I remember right now, it was at least 3, maybe 4 that I seen at first that were bright, round, just bright lights moving in uniform, moving slow, in uniform, fairly fast. Not a streak, just a steady move and very quiet. So I kind of went up the hill a little bit looking at those, waiting to hear engines, and I thought, this is weird. I don't know if they were choppers or what's going on, but I heard no motors. Then, further out beyond them, I kept seeing more up here. I'd seen like 2 or 3 more, the same bright lights. It looked like they were like in a pattern, just kept coming right towards me. It looked like some of them, and I even rubbed my eyes, I thought I was seeing things, had like tails behind them. And I thought maybe the tails would dissipate. They just kept coming over. Then what really got me is down slightly to me, but what I'll call below them, they were off a little ways, was like, when I first seen it, it almost looked like some kind of an orange explosion, almost like a pinwheel thing. And I kept waiting for these things to like fall to the ground or something. Then I realized that whatever this was I was looking at was moving also with these white lights. So we got some big pine trees on the hill. So the orange part kind of went behind these trees, and there was like 4 of these lights, and I was screaming at my wife to come out. She's out on the gravel in her bare feet. The 2 main bright ones are moving directly out of the west, directly to the east. It was just starting to get daylight in the east, and I followed them completely till they disappeared, even as they were going into the light. I would say I've seen at least 9 of them. The one orange and at least 9 of the bright, that's all I can describe as bright moving lights. That's it. From west to east, 5:54 or 5:55 this morning, and I'm a building contractor. I mean, I've seen them. What else can I say? So I had to tell somebody.
Okay. How long do you feel you watched them all together?
I would say, maybe 2 minutes? A minute and a half? I'm going to guess at this we've got a pretty good aerial view here. We're sitting kind of on a hill, and from when I first appeared to when I watched him disappear in the east where I couldn't see him anymore, I would say a minute and a half, maybe.
Okay.
2 minutes, maybe. I mean, you know what? I was so excited that I've never seen anything like this before.
Did any of those pass directly overhead?
The 2 of them passed, I would say, not directly, but damn close. There was 2 of them that were what I call the first ones to appear out of the sky. Okay, if I'm standing here looking straight up, no, but if I drop my head from straight up down at an angle at about, not even 45 degrees, that's how close 2 of them were, and they were just steady and in uniform.
I think they were close enough for that you would have heard any sound?
Oh, God, yes. I mean, that was the first thing, because Beale Air Force Base, we've got these fuelers that fly over us every other day, and I mean, I can hear them
Okay.
No, these were low and distinct, bright.
Circular type lights?
Okay. All I can tell you is that the bright lights that first appeared were just like massive, I would say circular,
Okay.
I would say circular.
Okay.
But not the orange deal. I don't know what that was. That was like a big wheel. I mean, again, circular a wheel would be, but that's when I really start freaking out and calling my wife when I seen that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just a little guy, a little contractor. I've never been involved in this stuff, but I mean, I seen them. I don't have a problem with it. My name's Doug Swanson, and I seen them.
Okay. And your age?
I'm 45 years old.
Okay.
I mean, I've watched this stuff on TV. I've seen it in the Inquirer. I've seen it. I've always laughed at it.
Okay.
I've seen them.
Okay. Where did you get our number?
Beale, my wife called the sheriff, and she called Beale, and then they gave us your number. Beale Air Force Base, California, Marysville.
All right. We sure appreciate you reporting that, and if we get any more information relating to this, we'll call you back.
Oh man, I hope so, because I've seen them.
Okay. Thanks again.
All right.